New York City is always so busy with people walking, tons of traffic, cars crossing bridges. There's just so much air pollution. The worst area affected in New York is Hunts Point in the South Bronx. That's why we're creating Breathe Free in the Bronx, an environmental educational organization that seeks to inspire youth to take action. That's why we spoke to Mrs. Donna DiSabato, a teacher at St. Ignatius and Hunts Point, to figure out how to help these kids being affected by air pollution.
This area was always an industrial area because of its location and its access to different things that. But what happened is they built residencies here, and now you have residents living in an very heavily industrial area. And where's the balance? If you're gonna, you're encouraging people to come here and live, and people love living in the Bronx. People love coming here. This neighborhood is wonderful. You wouldn't have all these children here and families if it wasn't a wonderful place to be. So why smack in the middle of an industrial area? What's happening? There's so many trucks, and all these trucks are run on burning fossil, gas and fuel, and they're burning just so much CO2, I'm sure.
When we asked Mrs. DiSabato what she needed from us in regards to climate education, here is what she had to say.
I definitely need so much. They love hands-on, but it's hard, hands-on activities. Now, being that we are in Hunts Point, I find it very, maybe if you can help me with monitoring the air quality. I try to gather rainwater to do acid rain, to check whether the water is acidic, because they do acids and bases, so we do with litmus paper. If you can find me anything that you feel that, what happens is New York State is very strict on how we have to follow our curriculum. So it's always been hard to, especially with Regents kids too in high school. So you're always very you're almost like teaching to that Regents, you have to stick by very strict rules and regulations in the regions, and you have to stick to teaching them at a certain path, a certain curriculum map, certain pacing. And it's hard for me, I get caught up, and it's hard for me to say, oh wow, I would love to do an experiment or research something for something that I could do, like carbon footprint. And it's more of a secondary thing for me that I would like to get it more influenced into my curriculum.
So why does Breathe Free in the Bronx focus on children? Mrs. DiSabato answers that question for us.
Their parents don't know so much about what's going on here. A lot of their parents don't speak English too, their second language, but their children are, they're the hope for their families, and they're the hope for, and I see them also as the hope for the American side, for the world, actually. The children are the ones who are going to have to learn how to create alternative energies, learn how to, so I think if you start them young before they're voting, and start them, they don't have to be politically active to be active. They can be active and in their knowledge and knowing what if they know that there's something there for them in the future where they have to take care of it, and so they can build for that. They should be working on it now.
There was so much more to this interview with Mrs. DiSabato that we couldn't include all of it, but these are the highlights. Thank you for watching Breathe Free in the Bronx.